Shaun, you have to unmute yourself.
Welcome to You're Worth Fighting For with Shaun. Today I have a special guest with me, but before we get started, I'm going to let you know how you can tune in.
If you'd like to share with your family, friends, and followers on all the different ways that they can tune in to JQLM Radio, this is what you would share. You can tune in live by downloading the JQLM Radio app on your Apple or Android devices. You can also listen live via Alexa, the TuneIn app, the Simple Radio app, and a host of other platforms of which you can find on our website, where you can also listen live at egoentertainmentnet.com/JQLM-radio. Or just visit egoentertainmentnet.com and click the button right there on the homepage. You can also connect with us via our website or social media at JQLM Radio. That's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Additionally, you can email us at jqlmradio@gmail.com. Find us under our parent company, Ego Entertainment Network, on social media at EGOENTNNT. That's Ego Ent Net. You can also follow us on LinkedIn at Ego Entertainment Network. And last but not least, make sure you like, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel, Ego TV Network.
All right, thank you so much for that.
It
And we
seems
have
that there is an echo. So if you have any devices that have speakers on them, you have to mute those or move them away from other devices. Please and thank you.
all right. Okay, thank you for that. Also, my co-host today is going to be Lady J. How you doing today?
I'm willing yourself.
I'm doing great. Today we have Ron Godfrey, who's a multi award winner, actor, and a counsel advocate. He's the founder and president of the Jeremiah L. Godfrey Foundation, Research Foundation. And also, Mr. Godfrey lost his 6-year-old son in November of 22 from brain cancer. Could you please welcome Mr. Ron Godfrey?
Yes, I can.
Hey!
How are you? How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
That's good. Glad for you to be on my show today.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
I feel a little under the weather. I had a cold, like I told Lady J earlier. So I got my glasses on, my eyes red. So hey, we're gonna get through this though.
It's all right. It's all right. We're gonna get through it.
Yes. So I want you to be able to, can you share with us a little about your experience and journey you've been through on your loss of your son?
Um, well, the journey with my son was very it was long and hard. Um, though I have to give credit where credit is due to his mom, who was there 24 hours throughout the entire ordeal. Me be not in the home, of course, but I was very present, even in my physical absence. And I was there when I could be, and when I got different phone calls, I answered them, and I was there by my son's side, spending as much time as I could with him, even up into his last breath, which was November 1st, 2022.
Okay. I can imagine what you went through, but I know I was a cancer survivor myself. But someone had told me to ask you, how has this experience changed your perspective on life since the loss of your child, someone very close to you?
It has changed it dramatically. I have a new outlook, should I say, on life itself. I don't take it for granted. And I'm doing things to better myself, from emotionally, socially, health wise, and everything like that. Because I was at my son's side, like again, when he took his last breath, and just to know, at 6 years old, he went through what he went through unexpectedly, was very life changing. And to be honest with you, I haven't been the same since. But with God's help and the prayers and the support of those that support me and love me, I've been able to hold up pretty good and get to this point.
Wow, that is amazing. Because I know the support you need the support a lot. Because with me, and I'm still here, I still need support. I've been through not typically what you've been through, but I have been on my dying bed as of saying the
Mhm.
doctor said my heart was going to stop, get her husband home from Afghanistan. And I could feel the presence, I could feel how your son probably felt that he probably didn't want to be alone. Me
Mhm.
personally, I said that to my doctor Wallen. I was like, could you sit here with me and hold my hand? Because I don't want to die by myself.
Mhm.
A lot of one man had informed me that he knew you was coming on the show, which he said he was going to look at the show after it's over with because he's be at work. But he wanted to know, I have wrote it down here. Wanted to know, he wanted to know how did you find support, which you just told us that with God, or coping with your son of loss, and because he going through similar to something like that, and how
Mhm.
can he adjust to his son died also from cancer, and he said that it's a lot of things he doesn't do now. He don't sleep in his own bed, his personal
Mhm.
bed since his son is no longer here. And he said that he sit and cry, he has PTSD, anxiety. So what the encouragement that you would give him in order to cope with what he's going through, because he's going through something similar with you, but his son was older,
Mhm.
he was grown. But what can you give him to tell him how to keep going forward about the depression? What kind of resources or advice you can give him? Because he's going to be looking at the show tonight.
First thing I would say is it's okay to cry. You need to release that. It's going on 2 years now since I lost Jeremiah, and it's just as hard now as it was the day he actually passed. And so there are still moments where I just, I could be anywhere and I just feel it come up on me. So I have to get to somewhere where I can release it so I can feel better for that moment. It's something that you'll never actually get over, but you learn to cope with it. And it's okay to talk to somebody. If you need to get grievance counseling, I would highly recommend that to help you cope with your loss and everything like that. And it doesn't make you less of a man to say, "Hey, I'm going to counseling." It's actually big of you to get that, because that shows that you can humble yourself enough to say, "Hey, I need this help," especially with the loss of your son. So I would definitely recommend counseling, and keep prayer on board, and surround yourself with positivity, positive people, a positive atmosphere, and that will help. Now, again, even with that, that's not to say that you won't have those feelings, come up in you, because like I said, I can be in a store somewhere and a thought of Jeremiah come up, and all of a sudden I feel my eyes welling up, and I have to get somewhere to myself to release it, and then I just I keep moving on. So it's perfectly okay.
Yes, because I feel that men don't like to cry or go to counseling.
Hmm. That's
So
that's true. That's true. Because it's an ego thing, and we've been under a stigma for years, for centuries actually. Not to show your emotions in front of people, especially women. Don't show your soft side. Don't cry and all that kind of stuff. Not realizing that you're actually, or they were actually creating, monsters, because you have a lot of men that are walking around now with so much built up from years back, and that's because they were under the stigma that we couldn't show our emotions, we couldn't cry, we couldn't show our point of weakness. And we all have a point of weakness. It doesn't mean that we're weak, but we all have that point where we need to, or have to cry, or have to just let it go somehow or another. If it's screaming, if it's writing, or whatever like that, find something that you're comfortable with and just release, and it's perfectly okay.
that's
I
true.
have something to ask. So I've heard a couple people say when people lose loved ones, and especially, let's say a child or a parent, they're like, "Oh, that was a year ago. That was 2 years ago. They need to get over it." I've had someone tell me that concerning Ryan, and I had to like check them. Do you know what it's like to lose a child? If you don't know what it's like to lose a child, then you can't speak on what somebody should be over, I haven't lost a child, but let me tell you, I got very, very close. My oldest son had a very bad staph infection, and they were preparing us for the worst
Hmm.
because he had it for like 72 hours, and his body was already shut down, like shutting down. So I I I can gauge what that would feel like because I felt like my heart was already ripped out of my chest before he even, checked out.
Hmm.
So, and thank God that he's still here, but it was a very long recovery for him.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
he was only 8. He was only 2
Hmm.
years older than Ryan's son when it happened. He was only 8 years old. And for somebody to be, I think, so insensitive and heartless to say, "Oh, that was how long ago? They shouldn't still be crying over that. They need to get over it." And what do you say to people that have those types of thoughts or would be so bold to say things of that sort?
Well, first of all, I want to say to you, thank you, because you were one of the ones that stood by me throughout my entire time that, Jeremiah went through, what he went through and everything. And I would say, like you said, if you've never experienced losing a child, then you have no idea of how that is. You have no idea. It's a different kind of pain. You know what I mean? And whoever, or whoever says things like that are just completely heartless. And that's the way I feel about it. They're completely heartless. They're ignorant, the whole nine, because they don't know what it's like for a parent to sit there and actually watch your son or your daughter, and I'll say in my case, my son, you don't know what it's like to sit there at the foot of his bed and watch him take his last breath of life and then hold him in your arms. He's laying there already gone and hold. You don't know, you have no idea how that is if you haven't experienced it. That is a pain beyond measure, beyond measure. And for people like that, honestly, who people that think that needs prayer and counseling, because to say something like, to even think that,
Mm-hmm.
that's a pain that's going to last for a very long time. Like I said earlier, people just learn to cope with things like that. I have a friend of mine right now just lost his son the night that I was being inducted into Hall of Fame.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That night, and he had planned to drive from North Carolina to Jacksonville, Florida, to come and support me. But then he called me, said, things took a turn. And I said, listen, you don't have to explain nothing. The night of the awards, his son passed away.
Mm.
Mm.
And he's older, but that's still his
It's
child.
still his child. It's always gonna be that.
It's
It's
still
always gonna be
right,
hard. That's
right.
that's always gonna be a hard thing. Um, let's see. We have a comment from Theron
What's going on,
Dumas.
Deron?
Ask those people who said that about that grandmother they lost that they cry about to this day. Hey, I know that's
That's
right. Now,
true. That's true. Because
you
I still cry
know,
about my grandma.
Right.
for me, my grandmother was my mama, and I watched her. I bathed her. I took care of her all the
Hmm.
way up until she passed. And when
Hmm.
she was 91, I believe, when she left here, but she was the only person in this world that made me feel like I belonged to
Mm.
somebody and somewhere. So my heart was completely broken. And to this day, I still talk about her I never talk about her in the past tense, and I still have her phone number. I cannot bring myself to erase it. I've never been to her grave, because it makes it reality for me. In my head, she's still here. And I know it probably sound crazy, and I probably think, oh, Lady J done lost her marbles.
No,
but
because I
but
still have Jeremiah's number in my phone,
yeah,
so
she's
I
mama to
understand.
me. She's mama to me. And so when people don't understand, they don't understand what that is like. And so I can, like I said, I can only imagine what that hurt is like. But you were also the keynote speaker for this past year's All Cancer Matters ball. Tell me, what was
Yes,
that
Mhm.
like?
sir.
That was first of all, it was an honor to be invited to speak at that event. I felt really, I felt at home. First of all, the atmosphere was very warm, very loving, and everything like that. And I want to applaud you, Chantel, for such a great event. And then the biggest surprise came towards the end. You know, we were showing videos of those, you know, people that had lost their lives to cancer and different things like that. And then the very last picture, the very last picture was my son, you know, and that just, I can't even tell you what that did. And then to be called up and to receive an award that was totally unexpected, you know, in his honor and memory, you know, by two beautiful little children, that was like, that just really topped it off. It really did. It topped it off. I didn't even want to leave after that point. You know what I mean? I couldn't even say much. I just wanted to melt away because that was like the greatest thing ever. So yeah, I'm very appreciative of that. And I know Jeremiah is too.
Thank you so much. You could come this year too if you want to come. It's October again.
So we gotta take a quick break, but when we come back, we can talk about the JLG Research Foundation and let everyone know what you have coming up next. So
Okay.
everybody stick and stay. Don't go anywhere. You are tuned in to Your Worth Fighting For with Shaun right here on JQLM Radio, a division of Ego Entertainment Network. The Jeremiah L. Godfrey Brain Cancer Research Foundation is seeking donations and sponsors to help aid in its efforts to provide funding to researchers to find an effective treatment and cure for rare inoperable brain tumors in children ages 3 to 12, specifically diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma or DIPG. DIPG is inoperable and currently has no effective treatment or cure, and those diagnosed only live for 3 to 11 months after diagnosis. For more information and to make a contribution today, visit jlgresearchfoundation.org. Music: Corporate Rhythm by Roman Scenic Music on Pixabay.com. Are you ready for the ultimate radio experience? Tune in to JQLM Radio now. From gospel vibes to Christian rap, hip hop, pop, R&B, and smooth jams, we've got it all covered. Get hooked on real voices, raw entertainment, and super relevant topics that'll keep you glued. Don't bother touching that dial. We've got the perfect soundtrack for every moment. Start your day right and groove into the night with JQLM Radio. Download the JQLM Radio app, listen on Alexa, TuneIn app, Simple Radio app, or visit egoentertainmentnet.com/JQLM-radio. Your irresistible music journey starts here. JQLM Radio. Real, raw, relevant, and dope. Music. Track by Dmitry Kolesnikov on Pixabay.com.
Welcome to the Gallery Event Center. My name is Richard, and we're located on the north side of Indianapolis in the Castleton area. We can be reached at 317-534-6399, or you can visit us at our website at www.thegalleryeventcenter.com. Also on Instagram at The Gallery Event Center. We specialize in birthdays, baby showers, weddings, and even family get-togethers. So come see us and book your event today.
All right. And we are back.
Yes, we are.
So before the break, Ron was discussing his experience with being the keynote speaker for this past year's All Cancer Matters Ball, which is sponsored by You're Fighting For Inc. And so now you also launched a foundation as well, but yours focuses on brain cancer. And so one thing I like about You're Fighting For is Shaun is not limited to the different types of cancers that she supports, because now she can collaborate with just about everybody, because her motto is all cancer matters. So being that you focus on a specific brain cancer, but brain cancers in general. Tell us a little bit about JLG Research Foundation really quickly.
The JLG, the Jeremiah L. Godfrey Brain Cancer Research Foundation, was founded actually a couple of months after his passing, um, with the help of Lady J and a few others that helped me put it together. The foundation is set up to, aid. I tried to say help and aid at the same time. That wasn't going to mix. It's set up to aid researchers in finding a cure for these rare tumors, because the tumor that Jeremiah had is very rare. And it's actually heartbreaking. It's actually heartbreaking. So we're trying to help the researchers find a cure to cure this rare tumor that attacks our children. And the thing about that tumor is the lifespan after diagnosis is anywhere between 6 to 11 months. So Jeremiah was diagnosed January of 2022 and passed away November of the same year. So that was the 11 months, but the foundation is growing. There's information on the website about Jeremiah, about the foundation itself, the tumor, and it's also a way that you can donate. And we ask people to donate little or much because we want to help change somebody's life. We want to help save somebody's life, and that's the life of a child.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes. So aside from this crusade that you're on to help other families not have to endure what you have endured and the mother of your child has endured, you're also an actor. And so tell me, um, being an actor and, it's time consuming. It can be
Yes.
time consuming, especially when you're on the road all the time and having to take care of family and spend time with family. What was challenging about that and having a child that was sick?
Um, what was challenging was not being there all the time, but I made ways, whenever I had, free time off of work or from filming or whatever, I was in South Carolina where he was, spending time with him, or in Ohio because he was getting his treatment in Ohio. And I have to give a shout out to the, Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio, because they treated him so well. And, they did the best that they could. They fell in love with Jeremiah. And, so that was very challenging. And I think the most challenging part was I was out on the road in Ohio. By this time, he was back in South Carolina, and to get a call from hospice nurse telling me that I need to get there as soon as possible, that was, yeah. And so I was there the next day, so it did have its challenges because, your focus is kind of, shifted because you're just worried about that phone call, which is the phone call that I got, like I said, to get back there. And then, to be asked to make arrangements for your child that's actually still living, make arrangements 2 weeks prior to him actually passing. That was very challenging. So yeah, it definitely has its challenges.
I have a question. Do you ever regret um that by you being on the road so much, you was with him, that you could have been more. You know how us as humans, we could say, okay, like my husband, he'll say all the time that I feel so bad I wasn't there for you with chemo. You did 13 months by yourself. You was on a cane. You did this, you did that. Do you ever have that in your mind? Even though you was providing for him, he know you love him. You was there 100% as you could. But by you being an actor, a multi-winner,
Mhm.
do you ever think in your mind that I could have stayed at home more. I could have did this and that.
No, I don't have any regrets, to be honest with you, because at that time, his mom and I had a conversation, and she was, very understanding. She said, "I know you got to work, you got a lot going on." And she
Mhm.
said, "I want you to go to work, and if we need you, my only expectation would be that you, get here as soon as possible." And that's what happened, and I can appreciate that because she understood, hey, I got to get out there and work so I can,
Right.
help take care of him. You know what I mean? And she had no, objections to anything of that nature. And so, and plus, I made a promise to my children, which of course included Jeremiah, that I was going to make them rich one day. So, I had to get out there and try to do that, and every award that I won since his passing, I dedicated it to his memory. They were for all my children, but I dedicated to his memory, and everybody, their feedback was the same, that, he's your angel and he's watching
Mhm.
over you, and he's proud of you. And, so that makes me feel good that I'm still fulfilling my promise to him, so no, I wouldn't say that I have any regrets.
That's good.
Yeah, that's really good. So tell us what's next. We have about 4 minutes left. So tell us
Okay.
what's next, Ron.
What's
God.
next? What's next? What's next? Wow. Well, again, I just got inducted into the Florida Georgia Gospel Hall of Fame this past
Mm.
Friday in Jacksonville, Florida, which was a great honor. I have another couple of awards coming up in June, where I'm being honored as the author of the year and Lifetime Achievement Award in that area. And I have two new movies that I'm going to be filming. One will be in Jacksonville, Florida, the other in LA. The one in LA I can't really talk about because that's a pretty big deal. But the one I'm going to be filming in Jacksonville is called The Honey Dripper Lady, and filming will start at the end of next month. And I can't wait to get back in front of the camera because that is my element. I'll feel at home then. So yeah, that's what and plus I got other stuff coming. And it's God is good.
I'm telling you, put me in your film. You don't want to put me in your films. I'm camera ready.
I have no control of that.
He said he just an actor. But
Hey, that's it. That's all I do. That's
so
it.
tell everyone how they can connect with you.
Okay, you can connect with me on all platforms. I am Ron Godfrey, Facebook, Instagram. I'm even on TikTok as Working Actor 22. Yes, I'm on TikTok. I'm still getting used to that TikTok thing. But yeah, all platforms, I am Ron Godfrey is how you can reach me.
Awesome. Uh, Ryan, it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you for having me.
Before though we get out of here, we have about 2 minutes. Sean, you want to talk about the current fundraiser going on?
Right now we have the fundraiser as of Little Caesars Pizza fundraiser. Pizza Drive. We have that going on to help all cancer patients from young to old who cannot really help with medical costs, low prescription costs, transportation, and all. So please go out and get them pizzas. It expire on 5/31 at midnight. So we have approximately a whole nother month to go with that. We're trying to get as much money as we can. You guys can find me at You're Worth Fighting For on Facebook, You're Worth Fighting For gmail.com, info all cancer matters. TikTok. I'm on TikTok too, Ron. TikTok. I'm on Twitter. I'm on
Okay.
Twitter, y'all.
So,
So you go and you'reverfightingfor.org. Go to the website, subscribe to get the newsletters, to see what's going next for us.
great.
So, and just so you know, make sure you go to yourworthfightingfor.org. That's the number 4. Yourworthfightingfor. And not YOUR people. You are. YOU apostrophe. We don't put the apostrophe in our. Y'all be messing up that your and your, okay? And
Yes.
there, and there.
And
Right.
Lady J gonna get you straight on it.
Okay.
Yourworthfightingfor.org. Go order. Look, make it a family night. Order pizzas, and you can do it worldwide. All right. And if you go to yourworthfightingfor.org, there's a link there. You just click on the button. It'll take you directly to Little Caesars website, to the You're Worth Fighting For fundraiser, where you can order your pizzas right from there, right from online. All right. And that money will go towards helping cancer patients. And here recently, for those who know that I am now caretaker of my father, who was diagnosed with lupus and now bladder cancer. So yeah, this cancer thing is
No
yeah,
joke.
it's a lot.
Real.
It's a lot. So and you never know. And please believe that there are some things that some patients need that their insurance doesn't cover. So
That's right.
You're Fighting For helps with assist with those things. So whether it be in kind things that they need, or medication, transportation, all of that. So this is definitely an organization that you want to support. Again, like I said, You're Fighting For is all about all cancer matters. So it doesn't matter what type of cancer that has plagued your family.
Mm-hmm.
So, Shaun, any last words before we get out of here?
You guys have a good day. Thank you, Ron, for coming on with me, speaking with
You're
us, and
welcome.
letting my fans know how to cope with fear and the loss of a loved one due to cancer. You
Right.
guys, I'll see you next Tuesday with my next guest. Like I always tell people, no matter what you go through, always trust in God and remember, you are worth fighting for.
Amen.
All right. And we are out. Until next time, y'all.